following is a paid program. The views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of Entercom Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Alrighty, good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We have a star-studded show for you this morning. I'm Harvey Freed, but we've got a great panel. Alex Nafusi right across from me.
Hey, guys, good morning.
We've got Harry Glanz always to my right.
Be back.
All right. Yeah, that's right, Harry.
This is a real show now. We're back after
1
2
week.
weeks. You and I, Harvey, back. We got a regular crew. We got Mike Tomchuk from Paramount Appraisals.
Gentlemen, thanks for having me back. It's been a while.
Yeah, we got Sean Locke from Title Partners in today. What's happening?
Hey, excited to be here.
Anyway, so we got a lot of information. You know, guys, a lot's happened in the last 2 weeks, Harvey, since we haven't been on. Woo. Okay, take a look at outside. That's real nice. But where do we live? It's February in Michigan. Where do we live? And as predicted, last 2 weeks for the interest rate market, and people out there, we've got some really strong advice because this is the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show. We've got some strong advice about rates, and we have Mike Tomchuk in. You're going to talk the real deal about property values. Sean's going to clear up all your title issues. But Harvey, as you know, you were away last week. You were getting the sun. You look good, by the way.
Thank you.
Wave to the people on Facebook.
The sun is good for you.
You held that tan nicely, buddy.
He looks good. But honestly, last 2 weeks in the market, now you know what the stock market's doing. Very volatile. Way up. It was way up, and then it went way down. Record. You're when you're down as many points as the Dow was down and the percentage it was down, it caused a lot of turmoil.
It's not down. It's still up.
It's still up from a year ago. There's no question. It's like Mike Tomchuk will tell you, property values are up.
Yeah, they are.
and mortgage applications, they're up. I told everybody 2 weeks ago we were up 20% over last year over year. And that's what's going on. But you have to understand something. The rate the guy told you about 10 days ago, the 4.25% rate, Alex, let's tell everybody. It doesn't exist anymore.
It's gone.
It's not there.
And here's what's happening.
Unless, of course, you want to pay 3 points.
They're panicking right now, the person that quoted you, because they don't have the cojones, I almost said a bad word, to tell you that the rates went up.
All right, so here, we're going to start off really hot and heavy like we do. We're going to come out of the chute real strong. We're going to throw the hammer down right now. If your person 10 days ago told you 4.25%, you're not getting 4.25%. Okay, unless, of course, Sean, you know the rules. They locked you in, and they sent you a lock document that says you're guaranteed this rate for 30, 45, 60 days, whatever the time frame is. So they don't want to see you call our place and we say, hey, listen, you wanted that rate 10 days ago. You can't have that rate anymore unless you want to pay for it. So what happens
I hate the rate talk.
It's like the stock market, right? And now it's the inverse. So if at one time a stock was at 10, and then the following day it went up to 11, your person can't go, or you, if you're doing it yourself, go in and buy it at 10 anymore because the market has set it now at 11.
Well, it changes on a daily basis. Right? On a daily basis it changes.
So on a daily basis, it can change intraday. Okay,
you say this. We become best friends,
right? I know. And then, so we've talked about this. So we've talked about it, and Harv and Mike Tomchuk's here. We want to tell people we are not doomsayers. The market is still very strong.
Very strong.
Mike's going to talk about the property value. So, Michael, right this second, we're sitting here in the middle of winter. Look outside. Are you as busy as ever?
Not as busy as ever, but I'm busier right now this year than I was last year at this time. Yes,
and why
for
is
this
that?
time, busy. Real estate's hot. Real estate's hot, baby. I mean, people are still buying. That's the main thing. A little bit down on the refi business right now, but the purchase business is right there.
And where are property values?
Property values are strong. They're still, right now we're a little bit flat based on using values from the wintertime.
Right.
But still, over last year at this exact time, they have increased. So
Right.
they're still on their way up.
And there's still a lot of buyers out there in the market. And Sean, that's your side of the
You would think we would
transaction,
correct
really.
at some point, but we just have not done that yet.
Right.
It's going to.
Yeah, how's the purchase market for you guys?
Purchase market has been really strong coming out of December. It does start to tail off in January. Weather, snow, it kind of slows things up a little bit, but we're seeing things going faster and moving.
Then we want to look at houses today?
So you know what? We've been pretty lucky, and we said it. We were pretty lucky through the middle to end of December, and then the first 2-3 weeks of January because the weather was pretty good for where we live. Mm-hmm. So there were buyers, Harvey, as you know, you work with a lot of buyers agents. The buyers were out there in mass because the weather was so good and people still wanted to sell their house. So if somebody is going to put their house up for sale right now in this weather and show it, they're pretty motivated to sell.
They're definitely serious.
Yeah.
All right, we've got tons to share with you this morning here. It's a great intro to get us going. And if you want to call on the show and tell us what you've got going, 248-539-9797. Tons of information. We always say the knowledge gives you the confidence to move forward. And as we've been talking about this morning, things like mortgage rates in the stock market. Yeah, we work within the industry. It's our job really to sort of put that aside, lock you in, and make your home purchase very successful. And of course, give you all that education up front. And that's just the thing. Whether the rates go up a bit or even trickle back down for a day or two, it's not going to deter you from going ahead and making that move and purchasing the house. And Mike, as you know, it's fun. You know, when someone's getting out there, you're seeing people are buying homes on lakes, they're upgrading their homes. So it's still fun and exciting. And whether the interest rate burps up a little bit, it shouldn't affect your life.
No, it shouldn't. You know, the thing that you just said right there, though, is the knowledge. That's what you guys are here for. But the best kind of buyer is somebody that is knowledgeable about what's going on. That's actually the reason I came in today. My neighbor, I talked to him yesterday. He said, "Hey, you're going into the show. Is this good for your business?" No. The answer is no. I'm not going to get any business out of this. The reason I'm doing this, number one, it's fun. Number two, I love you guys.
I love you too.
But number three, it's nice to have informed people out there that understand things that they may not have understood before.
Yeah.
So.
Nothing bothers Mike Tomczyk more and competitive people in general, like all of us in this room, when they hear somebody say something that isn't true.
I know.
And there's an old saying, okay? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. Okay? So, you can't, you could, and by the way, I'm not so sure I believe everybody's entitled to their own opinion because they spin the facts around or what they perceive as facts. And they disseminate, Harvey's going to hate me for this because I've said this now for 20 years to him. People try to, you have to disseminate what is accurate and what is inaccurate. You have to disseminate what is accurate information versus inaccurate information. And all we want to do is try to provide the most accurate information. So when Mike Tomczyk's driving around and he listens to the show, he calls in and says, "Hey, yeah, here's this and here's that." And he's really good about that. So we only want to deal with people that are straight and talk straight.
I just want the facts.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I couldn't be honest with you more, Harry, because in this industry, so many times it's the person who gets there first. That's the truth. And we all work off of that. And we know that first person is not always the most truthful.
Yep.
In this world, world of 142 characters, okay, and if you say
they doubled it now,
and if you say they did,
yeah,
you see how bad I'm old.
Alex has a bigger account,
right?
So, I do have a Twitter account.
In this world where people believe everything they read and say off the internet, off Twitter, off this, these
getting your news off Facebook's not a good thing.
We're in a highlight world, so if you say something, well, it must be true.
Must be true.
No,
nice. I read it on Facebook. It's got to be true.
Dig a little deeper. How about just be a little deeper? That's all.
That sounds good to me.
Diligence.
All right, 248-539-9797. You can obviously see we got tons of information to share with you. Yeah, rather than the rates go up or down, or the stock market goes up or down, we're going to move on and live through it. We're going to facilitate your mortgage purchase transaction and really put a smile on your face. And we're going to be talking this morning about lots of different things, including we brought Sean from Title Partners in just to talk about the finish line. There's nothing more exciting than, of course, getting to the closing table, signing the final documents, and having the keys turned over to you. So how do we get you there smoothly, efficiently, and so that you feel confident that you've done everything right for your family?
That's the climax of the transaction.
Especially when the transaction goes smooth.
Yeah, it's the best.
Working with Capital Mortgage, the girls in my office, the processors, Kaylee, Beth, they love working with your office. They think you guys are by far the best.
Well, Sean, for sure.
Crystal and Tiffany do a great job of getting the documents to us in a timely
Sean,
manner.
we love that compliment.
Yeah, don't forget.
Definitely love that compliment. Hey, I'll tell you what, we're up against a little bit of a break here. It's 9:11. If you're just turning in, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Show. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. We'll be back with all your calls.
Select your 2018 Detroit Tigers season ticket location.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Grosse Ile, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. That's 1-800-569-7283. You can always email us at lowrateonline.com. It's where you're going to find professionals who have been in the mortgage industry for several years. And I'll tell you, the knowledge is king. If you're out there trying to purchase a house, you need to have a professional team. That's why we always bring in the professional real estate agents. This morning, of course, Charlie Lutz from RE/MAX joining us. Charlie handles a lot of business out on the east side. And it's always a pleasure to have you, Charlie. You're very articulate, but more importantly, having professionals and if you're out there working, it's night and day. I mean, I know when people meet me, they tell me, wow, Harvey, you're giving us a lot of great information. I know that's what we expect out of you too, Charlie.
Well, it's important. You got to have a good team. Everyone that's involved in your team has to have the same mindset as you. You know, our business and as far as our platform is, we want to make the customers first. It's not about us. It's about putting the customer on that platform where we want to elevate them to a status where they feel as though they're our only client, and that's our goal. No matter if we're working with a particular inspector, or in this case, my son here that works at Capital Mortgage. That's very important to us.
Well, you know, the value proposition that you bring, Charlie, is that team concept, because, you know, we all have, the only thing that everybody has an equal amount of is their time. So what, during that time frame, what kind of value are you bringing to your clients? You're bringing your experience. We talk about value proposition all day long. What do we have to bring is the same thing you have to bring. You've been in this business a very long time. You believe in a team concept. You understand what it's like and the value of quality information, real information versus fake information. Okay, fake news. So what you bring, your value proposition, is you're always going to do the right thing. And by virtue of the fact that you've been in this business a very, very long time and you're a survivor in this business, hey, everybody really thinks that the mortgage and real estate industry, it's a sexy business. It's not sexy.
There's nothing sexy about it.
There's nothing sexy. You just have to work at it. And that's what you do. So the misnomer is that every mortgage person that you talk to, yeah, we can get it done, we can get it done, we can get it done. But what kind of information are they passing on to their client about how they're going to get it done?
All right, welcome to the show. There you go. We're back on 9:15. If you're just joining us, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show. Just a little quick break there. We got tons to share with you, and we're going to take all your calls. 248-539-9797. We're brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Let's move off to Gary this morning. Alex, you got that one? Gary calling in from his cell phone. Good morning, Gary. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. How you doing?
Morning, sir.
Okay, I was listening a couple weeks ago, and you guys were talking about PMI insurance on your mortgage. So right. I'm in like the 6th or 7th year of a 15-year fixed mortgage. About $32,000. The house is probably worth about $125,000, but I'm still paying PMI insurance.
We got to get you out of it.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be.
But the thing is, I'm locked in at a pretty good interest rate, and the interest rate now.
What is it?
That scares me.
What's the rate?
What rate is it?
3.65.
Okay. On a 15-year?
On a 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's two ways you can go. Alex will tell you one way. I'll tell you the first way.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, the first way is this: is that you could refinance the loan, and through getting another appraisal and refinancing the loan, and Alex is going to tell you that the rates are probably relatively the same as what you have right now. We can get you out of the PMI. Also, the second way is that if you want to invest in an appraisal on your own, you call Mike Tomchek, and he gets you an appraisal, and then we can help facilitate sending that appraisal to your servicer to show them what the value is compared to the loan you have. And there's no guarantee that they're going to drop it. I'm telling you, they should with a strong appraisal and you writing to them. And I'm hoping that you have an on-time mortgage history. You've never had a late, correct?
Maybe like one time, but I don't think it would because I just thought I sent it in and I didn't. But after 7 years, one time maybe.
Okay, fine. So here's what I would do, man. I would refinance it, go to a 10-year. The rate will stay approximately the same. You'll drop the PMI, keep making the same payment you're paying right now, and you'll have it paid off in
4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
there you go.
I mean, it'll be done. Be done in 4 or 5 years.
Hey, Gary, a couple other questions I have for you. It's Harvey Freed here. Do you have an FHA mortgage? Is that why the PMI didn't fall off?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
let's do this,
sure.
Gary. We'll call you after the show. I want you to find that closing package, your most recent closing package. Let us check a few things out for you. And there's some other things we want to look at. And for anyone listening out there, not only might we look at a refinance for you, but I like the idea if you have other debts or if you haven't paid your property taxes or if you have some income tax issues coming up soon. Of course, this is the time of the year where we have to sit down with our CPAs and make sure that we're all set to send the IRS what they're looking for. So maybe there's a bigger picture here, and we could show you some ways to save you money. And really appreciate the call this morning. It's a good stuff. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Alex likes to tell people he can help people save money, whether it's on a phone bill, whether it's a utility bill, and he's real good at that. I would tell you that Gary's got to get with us so we can show him how to save money. I mean, he's still paying, PMI after 7 years.
It's a waste of money.
Yeah, you should be doing that.
All right.
If you go to 10, you're going to pay it off. Go ahead, buddy.
There you go. No, 248-539-9797. Mike Tomchek, of course, appraiser's in with us, and we brought in Sean Locke from Title Partners in to talk about title insurance and what that really means to you. But, of course, appraisal is always the talk of the town. Everyone on a refinance wants to definitely get the maximum value out of their house. There's a lot of things out there that really the consumers don't understand about appraisals. And some of them even think that if we appraise your house higher on a refinance that your property taxes are going to go up. So there's a lot of misnomers out there. So we definitely have to clarify all these things.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's actually the reason I'm here. I mean, there's a lot of different things. Every time I come in here, I always have something written down that I would love to talk about. There's something we've not talked about in the show, and I will make this concise. It's called intrinsic value.
Word,
right,
I love intrinsic value.
So you're talking to your family or your friends, and they say, oh, that's a big, beautiful new home they just built on your street. That's going to increase the value of your house. Is that true or is that not true? No. Listen. It is not true, quantifiable. You cannot compare the two, okay? There is no direct comparison between the two. However, there is intrinsic value in the sense that it makes your neighborhood more desirable. People are talking about it saying, oh, look, this street's beautiful. It's got all these big, beautiful homes. They're new. They're gorgeous. So it gives you that value in the sense that people want to live there, but there is no direct quantifiable value for your house, an older home, to a brand new build. That is an important concept because people say, I've heard someone, we were just driving down my street the other day and someone asked me that question. And the fact of the matter is, no, that is not the case.
What potentially could happen is, and let's just use, let's say Ann Arbor, for example. So someone builds this gorgeous house down the street and now the neighborhood is selling for, let's say $300,000. Now it's a $500,000 house. Eventually, the other homes, it becomes more desirable. Now the other home starts selling for more and more money. That's where your home appreciates.
Right. That is the intrinsic value.
Here's the thing, though. When people, with a lot of the fill-in building, when people are knocking down some of the smaller,
right. You live in Berkeley, so you're
I mean, people are they're knocking down these houses. And they're putting up, these monsters for, hey, we tell you the other day, I never thought in a million years when I bought my first house in Berkeley that you'd see houses going for $450,000.
Love it.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. But I think it does bring up the value.
Absolutely. It does in the sense that it's intrinsic value in the sense that people want to now live in that neighborhood.
Right.
It now becomes
more desirable.
Exactly. But there is no direct comparison. I cannot use that brand new build and compare it to your home.
Right, to
and
the
use
three-bedroom bungalow.
Exactly. So if you're wondering why that's not on your appraisal, why didn't he use this house? It just sold. It's 2 doors down. It's because it's not actually.
Well, you can't arbitrarily just take a random house and say, oh, it's near me.
No.
Mike, I got a great simple question I wrote down last night, and I think because a lot of listeners want to know that what can families do out there? They're going to sell their house this spring. Just a couple things, reminders out there. What can they do to maximize the value of their property?
This is crazy because you know what? I would tell you this right now. Cleaning your house is not a direct valuation tool that we have. However,
does it give you $1,000 though in an appraisal?
So listen, everybody out there, if you're listening and you have your appraisal questions and you're very angry, today's the day to call.
Today's the day.
You've got to call right now because see, I can't talk to him about those kind of things, but you can. All right, so call and yell at Tom
If he didn't do
today.
the appraisal though, we can talk to him about it.
Well, I know, but and that's right. But
I haven't
if
done
you-
an appraisal for you guys in 10 years.
I appreciate that, and that's why we could talk to you. But I would tell everybody right now, if you have appraisal questions, you have to call and ask the guy who is very qualified in this area.
Yeah, if you want to know if your
by the
crown
way,
moldings are worth a lot of money,
Right.
go ahead and call in.
Get
I
it
got
off your
something for you.
chest right now.
And
Get
I've
it
been
off
at those
your chest.
closings where people are complaining about the appraiser, so I know there's a lot of people
They're
out there
like-
that want to have these questions answered.
They're like, well, we replaced the furnace. That's part of maintaining a home. You're
Right.
supposed to
Mike,
replace the furnace.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mike, let's go back to that. I mean, really, just some basic stuff. So we've got the house outside. You say cleanliness of the
Okay,
house.
yeah, right back to that. And it's very simple. No, there is no direct, quantifiable thing
Again?
for cleanliness of a home. However, the appraiser is a human being. So when they walk in there, they're a person. They have a feeling. They walk through it, and they have to make a determination on your condition rating. Is it a C3 or C4? I won't get into the details of that. However, if you're right on the borderline, and your house is spotless clean, the appraiser may lean towards the C3, a better condition. That is quantifiable.
Michael,
right?
people don't have feelings. They just want the number.
I'm
You know
aware
that.
of that.
People don't care about fear. They just want what they want when they want it. And they want it now, and they want the highest number that you can give them.
When I got divorced and I had to have my house appraised, it was like a frat house.
I know you want, because you wanted the lowest number.
I was there for that.
And Mike, anything else that's new in the industry going into 2018 that people should be aware of? Again, cleanliness of the house. We always talk about decluttering of the house. You want to get the maximum value out of your home. Well, give me something else. Anything new for this year?
I'm glad you asked that too, because it's a very big focus on the collateral underwriter. You guys know that. So
Yes.
there's a new, a new technological thing that's going on right now with the appraisals. They actually rate and give us a risk score based on the sales around the home. If you are just looking up on, here's your favorite thing, Alex, Zillow or something like that, and you see a value of your home, they're just using sales in the area. You have to use sales that are like your home. That is very important. You must make sure that the dominating characteristics are the same. If you have a 2-story home on a half acre, you want it to be a 2-story home on a half acre if you can. The most similar sales are very important. And it's more important now, Harvey, to the question, because now they're actually being rated and graded.
And how long are those sales good for when you're looking at those?
We can use up to a year. Really, you can use as far as you need to go if it's a complex assignment, but we like to use the ones in the last year. But if you have something that's sold more recent, we would like to use that.
Right.
You know, there's a system of going down the checklist. You want the most similar.
But you can't overlook a sale that just sold.
Oh, you
that's
did it.
I got to,
I
bro.
love you, buddy.
You can't overlook a sale that just sold.
Overlooking is the word I
light.
use when I teach a class. That's the word I would write on the board. Overlooking. Do not overlook a better sale to use something else because it increases the value. You can't do it. If there's a better sale, a more comparable sale, you must use it.
Use it. Yep. And we'll get into that in the future. We've talked about in the past. Should the real estate agents, the listing agents, should they be there with the comps that they price the house at?
Yes, they should.
Yeah, there's lots of different strategies, but more importantly, you have to prepare yourself as a buyer for what's going to happen in 2018's low inventory, a lot of competition for these great houses. Are you willing to overpay, and what's your threshold on that? And again, understanding the appraisal process and how it might affect your purchase is key. It's good stuff, Mike. And we're going to continue all your calls here this morning at 248-539-9797. We always say, come to Capital Mortgage for all your buying needs. Understand your options and deal with the real professionals. We're ethical, trusted lender that's been around for a very long time. And there's a lot of things going out there. As many of us have heard that word scam, and there's people sending letters to your home. And my cell phone's been going off the hook with strangers calling me. Be very careful. Don't have someone pull the wool over your eyes. Understand the facts and deal with some local lenders here. If you have any questions, or as we say, if strangers are calling you, if you're receiving cell phone calls or letters saying that they're their IRS, these are scams, and do things that you can do to protect
your parents
yourself.
Tell you when you were a kid, don't talk to strangers?
I always love that one. Alex, believe it or not, a lot of the vets are being taken advantage of because...
Which is ridiculous.
Right. Beware of the fraud in the marketing schemes. They appear to come from actually reputable sources, but it's not always the case, Harry, as you know.
So right now, the VA, or I'm sorry, Ginnie Mae has sought out. There's a list of lenders right now that are going after veterans, and they're basically churning VA loans. And they put out a list that they put these lenders on notification that they have to answer a series of questions within the next 30 to 60 days, because there's about 7 or 8 lenders out there that's what they do. They have a call center. they call vets up and they pretend like they could save them money, and they cost them more money, and they churn their loans. So there is a naughty list right now.
How do you do that? Like, seriously, as a human being,
just to take advantage.
Listen, I'm just telling you that's what's going on. I'm giving you.
No, I know. I'm not asking you. It was more rhetorical. Like, as a human being, I mean, these are the guys that protected our freedom,
and you can't do that. And as to Harvey's point, because we talked about it 2 weeks ago before Harvey went out of town, and I went out of town. It's something like this: just because you get something in the mail doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
Okay, just because somebody says that they can get you 2.99, they can't.
Well, you got to remember too, a mortgage is a publicly recorded document.
Right.
Anybody can pull that up and see you got your mortgage from Capital Mortgage Funding.
And that's right. And that's why strangers are calling you.
Sorry, I thought you were going to jump in.
No, we heard the music. When we come back, I'm actually going to ask Sean about it as a closer working at the title company, how often he runs into situations where he's not sure these people should be signing. So when we come back, a lot of great stuff and all your calls.
Dave, stay on the line, buddy.
All right, 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
Every shot, block, and dunk. The Detroit Pistons play here. 97.1.
All righty, welcome back to the show, 932. We'd love to hear from you. 248-539-9797. Again, the Hardcore Mortgage Show is brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, a 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Where'd that Dave guy who was on the air? Dave was going to grill
Dave had an
our,
appraisal question.
Where is he? Left
Gosh, come back, Dave, please.
Dave, call back. You would what? Don't let Tom Sheck intimidate you.
Dave from Milford.
You know what? We got some calls coming in this morning. And again, we'd like to hear from you. We brought in a Mike Tomchek appraisers. You can ask all the appraisal questions, give him a couple of helpful tips. And of course, Sean Locke from Title Partners answers some of the title questions you got going on and what happens at the closing and prior to the closing, things that you can do. Sean, we'll actually get into some of the other things like deeds and land contracts. If we get some time, we'll get into all that stuff. So let's move off to Ed on a cell phone. Good morning, Ed. You got a question about a refinance. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, well, my wife. Hi, by the way. Nice to talk to you guys.
Good to see you, buddy. Thanks, man.
My wife had purchased a house a long time ago. She was in one of those interest loan-free loans, or interest
only.
And what happened was she had to file bankruptcy because it was so bad that the payments got up so high. So she filed bankruptcy in 2011. She had a pool, a $30,000 pool that was added to the home after a while it was purchased. Once she filed for bankruptcy...
I'm sorry, so she put a pool in for $30,000 and then filed for bankruptcy?
Well, no, it was way before. It was when she bought the home originally.
Okay.
So what happened was when she filed for bankruptcy, she was told by her attorney, that the house had to, she wasn't going to be able to have the house. She had to reaffirm it. And the loan for the pool was paid off by insurance from the loan when they... before she explained it was for, and so now years later, the mortgage company was taken over by SPS, and they came through and they're harassing her to pay for 6 months that she didn't know she was behind because of the.
Well, yeah, she owes the money.
Correct, but this happened over a 7-year period.
So what? You still owe the money, dude.
Hey, hold on, I want to hear it.
No, we know that. We understand that. We understand that. Right. But the problem is we paid it all up. Mm-hmm. We're all caught up now. Right. And we want to, if we're looking to sell the home, is there possible the lien's still on the home from the pool even though they were paid?
Sean,
did you catch that one?
Focus, Sean.
Is lien still on title even though they paid off the loan on the pool?
Well, it could be.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it sounds it's like a really classy deal because file bankruptcy, put a pool and all that stuff.
I'll make you a deal. We can go ahead and pull title on it, and we can check it out for you.
Yeah, Ed, there's things we can do. It won't even cost you money to check it out.
I'm not pulling. And you know what, Ed? Have a good day, buddy. I'm not doing anything on that deal because those credit scores are probably zero.
Well, I'll do it.
You can do
it.
We'll
definitely do it. Yeah, no problem with that.
Yeah, I put a pool in, file bankruptcy, bought him a mortgage.
It was done before.
Yeah.
It was done before.
All right, hey, let's move on.
Classy.
We'll take some calls here. 248-539-9797. Matt from Davidson. Good morning, Matt. Matt, your question's sort of interesting. Good morning. Thanks for calling in.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
Matt, you're hanging around the donut shop. This looks like one when I used to hang out at the donut shop drinking coffee. It says, is it true that the USDA is not looking at credit scores? Matt, you and I can look at each other and agree that anyone who's loaning money is probably taking a look at your credit, right?
They better be.
Well, I would agree. So what happened was I have a rural development loan on the property I purchased in 2011. And I got a great deal on it because that's when the housing prices were looking to drop.
Right.
Well, over the course of the years, the property value has gone up, so the SDE value has gone up as well.
Right.
So the mortgage payment's taken a little bit of an increase, almost $300 more than when I purchased.
Well, hold that there. Hold that thought. You mean that your property taxes have gone up considerably?
Property taxes have gone up as well as the SDE values because it's been reassessed.
Well, but the SEVs is a correlation.
The other, correct.
But your loan is locked in on a fixed rate, so your principal and interest is not changing monthly, correct?
No. Yep. 30-year fixed rate.
Right. So your payment's really not going up. What's going up is your property taxes.
Is what's causing it to go up.
Right.
Correct.
Are you having trouble with the payment? What are you thinking we might have to take a look at to help your situation out?
Well, I got something in the mail the other day from Karen Zuccaro at Icon, and she was telling me that there was a USDA streamlined refinancing program for people with RD loans. And it's a 30-year fixed rate. But what it does is they don't look at your credit score, but they refinance and lower your payments by close to $50 a month.
Why does the credit score matter?
I don't know. That's why I was wondering.
I mean, if you pay your bills on time, your credit should be fine. So I'm kind of confused by the question.
Who did you say? Who did you say sent you the letter?
Icon.
Karen Zuccaro from Icon.
Are they?
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of it.
I never heard. Are they? Who's servicing your loan? Who do you send the payment to?
Through Chase right now.
All right, so dude, here, Matt, this is what we were talking about earlier. They pulled your public record of your mortgage, and that person sent you a letter that said, "I can save you money." From information they pulled out public records.
My wife's a realtor, so she works with this lady all the time.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
So why they send you a letter as well as just
Can you do me a favor? I'd just like to take a look at the document that you got.
Yeah.
And if you could send it to us, we'll get you. We'll call you and we'll have you send it to my private email.
Hey Matt, let me ask you.
To take a look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely follow. And Matt, just a quick question on your SEV. Do you feel that your SEV is correct? Do you feel your house is worth more? Or where are you at with the value of your home?
Oh, it's way more than that. It's double.
Oh, great. Well,
yeah, I paid $69,900 for it, and my wife, she did a market analysis on it about a month ago, and she's estimating $140,000.
Oh, congratulations to you guys. Nothing like home ownership, right? And you guys get the tax write-off and everything else.
Yeah, let us check that program out for you. We want to put you on the path, and if you know this person and it's legit and they can actually save you money, it might be a good way to go. But I'd like to take a look at it.
If that program is actually legitimate.
I'd like to take a look at it.
I'm not familiar with it.
There's got to be potential for a better
opportunity for them. Look, Matt, I'm going to throw this out there. Typically, it's for families that have just some problems going on. There's some distress. Usually, they're trying to modify. Usually, they're way behind on their payment, and the USDA is looking for right. So you likely probably won't fit into that category. But yeah, let us check it out. Nothing wrong with the knowledge, right?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Thanks for the call.
Awesome.
Really good
Thanks,
stuff.
Matt.
Thanks, Matt. All right, 248-539-9797. We take all your calls here and definitely looking to save families money. Of course, don't wait on that refinance. The Fed already talking about 3 rate hikes again here in 2018.
Yep.
Why not take advantage of that? Take advantage of that refinance now. You get the cash out refinance to do home improvements. You can use it for paying off your back taxes, property taxes. That winter tax bill came out December 1st, and the deadlines are usually February 15th. So that's coming up really soon next week. So lots of reasons why you should take a look at refinancing. Call the experts at Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. And Sean, that leads me to, as we so often talk to all the title companies out there and so many around Southeast Michigan, but the great ones really stand out. And one of the things is we get feedback often, and, of course, you're a professional company. Sometimes you guys are sitting at closing tables and from other lenders and such, and you're shaking your head.
Well,
and you see what's going on.
It can get really uncomfortable in that room when that air's thick and that elephant's in the room and people don't want to close or the documents aren't as they thought. Talk about that.
A closer is a rough position because you're at the mercy of everything that's happened throughout the process. And walking in, if you don't have a loan officer who takes the time and communicate and explain what's going on, that closer's not there to tell you about your loan, talk to you about your interest rate. That closer is a referee. They see the play on the field, which is your closing.
Well, effectively, Sean, shouldn't all that work be done up front? And then when people walk in that room, they should just be there to handshake, high five, sign the documents, and be happy. Because all the other hard work has been done up front, and all the disclosures have been sent out, and all they're doing, it's a formality. They're just signing the documents.
The closing should be a finish line. It should be a joyous place where we're all celebrating.
And I'll tell you, when all the purchase closings, that's generally what's going on. So,
especially with your back office.
Yeah, no, thank you. We always take those compliments.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, we like you guys, too, because you definitely do a great job. And again, you're not the only title company we deal with. There's lots of great title companies across Southeast Michigan. So nice to have you in here. And, of course, we like our relationship with you.
Hey, Harvey, you've had it lately where at even prior to that, and I'm going to bring this up, and this is a topic for another.
You're not allowed to go back 24 years now.
No. What I'm saying is you're not listening. There you go. You're jumping to a conclusion.
What do you got?
Is that when you have an attorney that wants to grandstand either through the process or, Sean, at your closing. They want to grandstand. They actually took the time. They got in their car. It was a bad day out. And then they want to grandstand in front of their client for an hour at the closing, which should take 20, 25 minutes because all the work was done up front. Because we usually send it to their attorney a day or two in advance, if not more.
And the closers at Title Partners are trained to explain every document.
Yeah.
They're not there to decipher it. They're there to explain it. That's what an attorney's going to do as well. So I will tell you a lot more money to do that.
Yeah, my opinion only. You can call me. You can email me, and you can yell at me. My opinion only, a seasoned attorney has done that work up front. They don't even need to be at that closing.
you're definitely right when it comes to a seasoned attorney.
All righty, guys. 248-539-9797. We always talk about how to make your home purchase very comfortable. Get that knowledge and confidence. We're up against a quick little break here. When we come back, all your calls, 248-539-9797.
Calls for those attorneys, baby. Come on now.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Danberg for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Groseal, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
All righty, welcome back to the show, 9:33. If you're just joining us, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Yep, we're in our 18th year of bringing you this show. Tons of information. Again, if you want to become a homeowner, you definitely want to give us a call. We'll show you everything you need to know with absolutely no obligation. Get a real approval letter from real mortgage bankers. Call Capital, 1-800-LOW-RATE. That's 1-800-569-7283. And that's the way to get business done. We were going to go into a little bit of debt consolidation. We always talk about that new equity that everyone has. Of course, the economy has dramatically changed here across the country, more importantly here in Southeast Michigan and all around our state.
Yeah, so there's a little housekeeping item we have to clear up from last week. And as you know, the new tax laws came out. And one of the things that got hit the hardest was the home equity loan tax deduction. Now, let me simplify this for you. It did not go away if you used a home equity loan. We call it an 80-20. If you got a first mortgage for 80% of the value, and then you got a second mortgage for 20% of the value, use that to acquire the home when you purchase the home. You closed on the same date as the first and the second. That's still deductible. Now, if you did that before December 15th of 2017, the whole thing is deductible, okay? Up to $1 million of total mortgage debt. Now, if you did it after December 15th,
I mean, you took cash out on a home equity line to buy.
You can't do that. You can't take cash out on a home loan to buy a car, go on a trip, consolidate. No, that's not deductible. But if you did it after December 15th to acquire a home, to buy a home, it's still deductible up to $750,000 now.
Okay, good.
So let's not.
All right, welcome back to the show, 9:44. If you're just joining us, 248-539-9797, live here in the studio. We are brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. It's Harvey Freed, Harry Glantz, Alex Nafusi from Capital, Sean Locke from Title Partners, Mike Tomchak, appraiser aficionado from Paramount Appraisals, and tons of information. Let's move off to our calls here this morning. Let's first go to Megan up there. Good morning, Megan. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Megan.
Hi.
What's up?
I was just calling. We've bought our house in 2012, and we've been paying PMI on it. And, we have increased the home value about $50,000. However, our current mortgage company doesn't allow us to refinance or get it reassessed based on the FHA loan we have. So the value is more, but we don't have that 20% down still. I was wondering if we should look at refinancing with another company.
Yeah, I would definitely take a look at it. I mean, there's products now called lender-paid mortgage insurance. Even if there's not the 20% equity, you can refinance and not pay PMI. Even if for the sake of round numbers, if you owe $90,000, the house is worth $100,000. There's products out there that we can cover the PMI for you. You're on an FHA mortgage right now.
Yeah.
Did you go FHA just because of the low down payment, or was there a credit issue? What was the scoop with that?
Definitely not a credit issue, just the low down payment. We were out of college when we had purchased our house, and we kind of still just basically pay, the minimum payment, so we haven't really gotten that 20% on there.
Go ahead, Mike.
Just out of curiosity, how do you know that you increased the value of the home by $50,000? Where'd you get that number?
We had it assessed.
Oh, okay. You did an appraisal?
You had it appraised or assessed?
Yeah. We just had I guess we didn't have an official appraisal, but we had a realtor come in and kind of look at the comps and see where we're at.
Yeah, like a market analysis done where they're showing you all the comparable sales within reason. Although Mike Tomchak will tell you that's definitely not the gospel.
That's not the be-all end-all.
My hair almost caught on fire right there.
Sorry about that.
Hey, Megan, it's a great call. I'll give you a call for the show and see what I can do for you.
Okay, great. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thanks,
Sounds
Megan.
great. Anyone out there listening and you're being told that you cannot refinance your mortgage, you need to call Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm going to say this loud and clear. If you have an FHA mortgage, there is no prepayment penalty on an FHA mortgage, a VA mortgage. There's almost no prepayment penalties out there for anybody.
Here, watch this news flash. Oftentimes, even if you took a higher rate and you refinanced and you got rid of the PMI, or you had to go LPMI and then take a higher rate, well, your payment could be lower than you're paying now, so it would be worth it. So that's what it's all about.
And Harry, another thing, and I'm glad you made that point. On an FHA loan, it's called MIP. So again, use the proper terms, get educated on your mortgage, and save money. Those are all good things.
And that MIP never comes off on those FHA loans.
Never.
No, it almost did, but that legislation has not been passed yet. Let's continue some calls here. We got some really good ones. Mark out in Ferndale. Good morning. Hey, Mark, you're live on the ticket.
Hey, how you doing?
Real good.
Good morning, sir.
Good. Hey, I had a question about, somebody was talking about, I'm trying to sell my house and I'm trying to buy a house, and they're talking about a bridge loan. I just want you to kind of take on a bridge loan and what you think about those.
That's such an old school term. I mean, do you feel comfortable carrying 2 mortgage payments?
Well, I won't have to carry 2 mortgage payments.
Well, that's what a bridge loan is.
You would have 3. You would have 3.
You would actually have 3. You would have the old house, the bridge loan, and the new house.
Yeah.
But that's not the process that I'm being told. I'm being told that we're going to pay off everything on my current house and then have the money for the equity, and then it's a deferred payment for 6 months.
No.
And I won't have a
Let
payment.
me guess. Your realtor told you this.
I know. I don't know about that, but we can certainly check that out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, let me help you out. I'm going to call you after the air. It's Harvey Freed here, and I'd love to call you after the air and give you some options and stuff. What Harry's saying is the bridge loans are really not even relevant anymore. I haven't seen one in forever. And the reason why is if you qualify to purchase the new house, all it takes is 5% down. So you don't need to go get a bridge loan. Also, after you sell your house in Ferndale,
you can
recast the loan. So you can come.
Good point, buddy.
If you call the Capital Mortgage Funding, you know I was going, Harry. Then we can put you 5% down on the purchase. After you sell your house, a couple months later, you can put that big chunk of money down, get yourself out of the PMI, and we recast the loan. So there's options out there that would work for you, and I understand what you're doing. And I also think, Mark, on the other hand, I bet your house in Ferndale sell pretty quickly too.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was thinking, Harvey.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So why don't we we have to know your situation, and we'll put in a game plan. We have to have a plan for you.
I'll call you
best
after the
plan available, and Harvey will get down to it. But we got to know the situation because it's all situational. It's like baseball, situational.
Yeah, the bridge loan ends up giving you three loans, and you're not going to want to go that route. Talk about destroying the transaction.
It's not 3 loans, and I need it for my debt to income ratio.
I get it.
We'll talk some numbers, Mark. It's a great call. Great call. Good stuff, man, and look forward to giving you a call. So thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
All
right.
Yeah, we got it.
248-539-9797. Some pretty good stuff here. Procedure on selling a house. Paul, you're out there in Troy. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, man?
What's going on with you, Paul?
I'm doing fine. What I'd like to know is I'm going to sell my house in the spring, and what's the best way to go?
Well, hire a professional real estate agent would probably be a pretty good start. What's your plan after you sell the house? Where are you going to move to?
I'm not going to move. I have to go to assisted living.
Oh, okay. Well, Paul, I hope you have family and friends helping you out and some trusted advisors. We definitely, if you're selling your house, we'll definitely have some of the top real estate agents. After the show, what we'll do is we'll get in touch with some of the top agents in the Troy area that work that area, and they can give you a phone call and just interview with you and see if they give you the information that you're looking for. Maybe even sit down with some family members and make sure you guys make the right decision.
Yeah, springtime in Troy, you're going to be looking good, too. You'll be able to get rid of that pretty quick.
Yeah, it's going to definitely sell for you pretty quickly, Paul.
It will?
Yeah, you're pretty much sick of shoveling the snow, it sounds like.
Okay. Well, I paid $160 for it and $99.
And what's it worth now?
And I don't know exactly what it's worth. I was hoping at least over $200,000.
Paul, I'm going to put you in touch with some good people and make sure you're taken care of, man. You sound like a really nice man and a gentleman, and I'm going to make sure you're taken care of, sir.
You know, Paul, it's also important to pick the right title company.
Thanks for the call, Paul.
And finding the opportunity.
Okay, thank you.
Buyers and sellers do not realize all the time that they have the opportunity to pick the title company, price out, do the due diligence.
Wait,
for
the realtors
themselves.
don't pick it?
Oh, boy, Alex, that
A
was
lot of times they
that
do.
was too easy, brother. Come on now. That was a layup drill, man.
But it's important to
Come
ask,
on.
why is the realtor picking that title company?
Exactly. Why
Do
are
they
they?
have financial
Why
interest?
Are
Are
they?
they
Why
a
is
part
it
of
so
the company?
important? The realtor-
Hey, not the show.
It's
That's a
important to
whole
find a
different
title company
show.
that's going to give you the service that you need as a buyer or a seller.
Right, Sean. We talked about it earlier in the show, but there's a lot of things that title insurance companies do. Of course, present the house to you free and clear of all liens, but also you guys do the quick claim deeds. You guys get a lot of information cleared up. As the gentleman called earlier, sometimes there's liens that haven't been removed properly. As a consumer advocate show, we always advise clients whenever they pay off something, keep their paperwork showing that it was done with a title company, and more importantly, discharge of mortgages for home equity loans and for mortgages. When you refinance your house, you have to obtain the discharge of mortgage from the previous lender. Sometimes they come 2 or 3 months later, and again, you have to keep those for your records because a lot of times there's title flaws.
Well, they're the third-party intermediary. They really have. You know whose back they have? They have their own back because they're not going to go ahead and insure a property, Sean, that has liens on it. So they're taking the risk. So they're writing, and it's an insurance policy on the property. There's an owner's policy. There's a lender's policy. All right, so the owner gets free and clear title so they can provide it to the lender. Then they go ahead so we can do the loan and make sure that
Say
it's free.
lender's policy.
There's a lender's policy. So therefore, we are clear and we can lend money on that property. You are clear because you can buy that property free and clear of any liens or encumbrances on the title. So it's showing the lender in first lien position and that you are the actual owner of that property.
And going into this market right now, we're seeing a lot of home improvement and a lot of new builds. And a lot of times what happens is in the lender's policy, it's really important for that buy-side title company to protect the lender. So we want to see sworn statements and waivers.
Yeah, we have one. So which is why as a lender, first of all, we don't own a title company, so we use third-party title companies.
And have no interest in any title company.
We have no interest in any title company, so we can be impartial. We go ahead and we let the title companies do their job because we want to make sure that our borrowers are covered and that we're covered.
But I can't tell you how many times
we should pick it.
I get to the closing table, or we're scheduling the closing, and the builder says, "Well, I don't give sworn statements and waivers.
Why?
This is not. I don't practice.
Why
My
don't,
title
why don't
company
you?
doesn't make me do that."
Right.
Well, exactly.
Right.
If you paid everything, why wouldn't you prove it?
You don't want to have a house where there's a lien 2 years later from the heating and cooling guy who wasn't paid.
Exactly. You as a buyer, as a homeowner, you want to know that there's no lien from Jimmy's HVAC
or from
company.
the HOA.
And the state of Michigan is a work-first state, so they are going to put that mechanics lien on the property.
Sure they are. Why
And
wouldn't
you got to make sure that you're protected. All right, we're running up against the end of the show here. I got a couple things, just a little
I'm glad
miscellaneous.
You guys are back. These are much more fun shows.
Thank you.
A couple miscellaneous
They're a lot
things.
better,
One
too.
good thing and then one bad thing.
What are you talking about?
That's saying a lot
Did I
of
get us out?
appraisals and title.
No, I wasn't.
You totally did.
All right, come back over here, guys.
Take a shot at Bobby.
A good and a bad thing here.
Oh,
Happy
all right.
birthday to my brother Ryan. I'm throwing that out there real quick. I never have wished him a happy birthday on the air. And then a sad news out there. We did lose a building mogul in the area. Dominic Mosheri had passed this past weekend. Capital Mortgage Funding wants to send their condolences to the Mosheri family and all his relatives and family. I mean, what a total great builder in the Hall of Fame of building. And our thoughts and condolences, of course, go out to his family, a true patriarch in the building community. Also, give Capital Mortgage Funding a call. Wanted to throw that out there. Yes, we are getting very close to what they call the spring home buying season. In the competition,
They can't get here quick enough.
The home buying season's already really here, but the competition for these good homes, it's already heating up. And again, if you're out there and you're looking and you need seller's concessions, probably very important to get in with your lender now and put a plan together to purchase a house.
Lock your rate in, everybody, and get it in writing.
And
I like that
you
one.
can email us too at mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com.
All right, great stuff. Hey, we want to thank everyone for coming in. Mike Tomchak, Paramount Appraisals.
Yeah, thanks.
Sean Locke from Title Partners. And, of course,
for having me, guys.
Alex Nafusi and Harry Glanz, I'm Harvey Free. We got Pat Caputo coming up with sports. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Harry Glanz and Dan Burke for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Groseal, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Hi, Harry Glantz and Danberg for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Groseal, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.